Hello artists, good to see you. Ms.Cascino here. Today we have a project about robots. We're going to design a robot. We can go one of two ways. We're going to draw it or we're going to make it out of recyclable objects. Just depends what you have lying around. Alright, let's get started. First, the ASL, American Sign Language sign for robot, is just what you would think. Or if you're talking about a machine and not actually like a humanoid type of robot, you would go like this. That means machine. Alright? Now, back to the project. So, if we're going to draw our robot, many robot designers sketch first. We'll go that route, okay? So what you're going to do is think about, what does my robot do? What's its function? What's its mission? What are the parts of my robot? What's my robot's name? Think about all these things first, okay? Get a nice white piece of paper. What I did first was I looked at some of these inspirational sheets I attached to the assignment. Okay, first you're going to watch a little video about robots first, once you go to my assignment. Then a cool little video about a punk graffiti artist who does robots. And then, if you look a little further, you'll see this sheet that's robot bits and bots. And it's just little cool drawings of parts like eyeballs, noses, mouth, ears, hands, fingers. If you can't think of one for yourself, that's fine. I use this too. I'll show you in a second. This, just like our Keith Haring dice game, this is roll a robot. So you just use a dice, you can play it with your friend, or you can just pick up some of these pieces to build a robot yourself when you're drawing. Alright? Now my robot, I started with a pencil. I did a couple of light little sketches, and then I used thin Sharpie and a thick Sharpie first. I did a little outline. My robot, I was thinking I wanted it to be a gardening robot because even though I love gardening, sometimes the weeds get really out of control. So, let me show you mine. This is Weedy the garden robot. Okay, so Weedy, I just used some color markers, some Sharpies. Okay, Weedy has little hoses that come off of the side of him, water up the soil. He has some strange eyeballs, not really sure what he's doing, just looking where he's going, I guess. We got his big clipper hands. He can clip those weeds, pull them out. He's got wheels to dig the trenches in the soil when it's ready for planting. He puts the weeds right in his mouth to get rid of them. And he has a super nose that smells when a plant is ripe, like a vegetable. And he picks it and he puts it right up on top. Boop, right there. So anyway, I'm working on him. The one thing I'm missing with this is labels. So I explained to you what each part does and what his mission is, but you, on your drawing, when you're done, put in some little labels, or you can just write about it at the bottom. Got it? All right, cool. So the next thing is if you're feeling just like building something, which I definitely do, I got some recyclable materials. I went in the garbage bin. I was like, ooh, look at this cat. Look at this onion peel. Ooh, this is neat. Look at this little piece of weird paper that I found. Okay, so I'm going to show you some stuff that I have, all right? And we're going to build together some recyclable materials into a robot that's three-dimensional. So, there are also sheets that I can show you that show different ways to attach cardboard or pieces of paper to cardboard without using glue or tape. But the things that you're going to want probably are, well, I have a few different types of tape here. I have this yellow paper tape and some black electrical tape. I actually don't have any clear tape on me, but that's okay. It makes my project cooler because I have to, figure out what else I can use. I got some glue, and I also have this type of glue because this type of glue, this is Staples school glue, but because it's liquid, it helps hold a little stronger. This is really just for paper, I think, but you could try it. I also have some string in case I really need to tie something on or stick it together. All right, I got some pipe cleaners that I found. Those are gonna come in handy. I got some popsicle sticks. I'm not sure what I'm using those for yet. I got some markers here. These are alcohol markers called Copic. Just to add some details when I'm done. Probably not gonna paint this thing. All right, and big important thing, scissors. Be careful, especially if you've got the sharp kind. If you're cutting cardboard, try to pick a thin cardboard, like a cereal box or something, so it's not too hard to cut. What else do I got here? I got toilet paper rolls that I found. Pretty cool. Found 3 of them. I found, well, I'll show you that later. I found some caps. They're pretty interesting. 2 green caps like this from my Starbucks coffee jar. And a bunch of other little boxes and pieces of cardboard. So, I wanted to show you this first. These sheets, I think the text probably looks backwards to you because I'm filming this, but these are also attached to the assignment. These are some ways that you can attach things together if you don't have glue. Or you can use glue and do it this way and it'll be extra strong. Okay, so look these over. This is my sticky meter right here. Oop, that one's upside down. This is my sticky meter. Okay, this is kind of how you can gauge what you need to stick your stuff together. I'm using all small materials. Materials that are about the size of my hand or smaller. You could get big with it if you want, but for me, I'm gonna work small because I don't have a very big apartment, okay? All right, here we go. All right, artists, wanted to show you the beginning parts of building out my 3D robot. I found this really cool box with holes punched in it, in the garbage. Still clean, no garbage juice on it. And I got a bunch of these little toilet paper rolls. I wanted to show you a really cool attachment method called the flange. Now the flange is if you want something to go straight up and down. In this case there's holes so I can stick it right in. But if it's a flat surface and you want to glue this, instead of putting glue just on the skinny little part right here, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to cut, and this is on our sheet too, right here. You're going to want to cut little slits in the bottom, 1, 2, all the way around, just about a ½ inch, all the way around. So hopefully you can see that I'm doing that. And then after I cut these little slits all the way around, just a few inches apart, or a few centimeters apart, I'm gonna bend them back like this. And that gives me lots of little tabs. That's gonna make a flat surface for me to put my glue on right here. So I'm gonna use this type of glue, and I'm gonna put a little dot on each one of these, and then I can clearly glue this down nice and flat if you need to, and it will be very stable to build on. All right, so that's called the flange. The other attachment technique I wanted to show you was if you have a piece of cardboard and you want it to stand up straight like this, with just gluing it like this, not very stable, probably gonna fall over. But if you cut a slit and you have another little piece, if you cut the slit the same height as that piece, you can tuck it in there and glue it. Just glue it right on the edge right there and there. Put a little reinforcement glue. Once it's dry, you'll be able to glue it flat, and then look at that, you have this nice stable thing you can attach things to build up. Okay, the tricks on these attachment technique sheets show you how to build strong and how to build up instead of horizontally, you build vertically. Okay, so that's 2 attachment techniques. We got the flange, and we got, this one is called the slot technique. So it's like you're cutting a slot, putting it in. All right, but I'm gonna use those. Right now, I'm just gonna take 2 of my tubes, I'm gonna stick them right in here. I feel inspired. The next thing I'm gonna do, I had this really cool, weird little piece of cardboard I found, and I was like, ooh, how can I get it to stay closed? Because it was a big, open, flat piece of cardboard. So I slid a popsicle stick in here, and it seemed to hold it together. And I put 2 pieces of yellow tape in there, more just because I like the color of it, but also to hold it closed a little bit. So now that I have that, I think I'm going to attach my robot head. Oh, I might use my slot right here as something to keep it stable. And right now I'm not gonna put all the glue on, I'm just showing you the process. And I'm gonna put my little head on here, I think. Actually, I think here. I think this looks better. And then I found these little nuts and bolts right here in my toolbox. Something that just fell off of something, I don't need it anymore. So I did a hole puncher, or you could use scissors. And I think these are gonna be my eyeballs. So, sticking them in, there we go. There's my eyeballs. There we go. And these are 2 caps off the top of a Starbucks iced coffee bottle. I'm gonna attach them like this, and I'm gonna attach that using glue, I think. Probably the same type of Elmer's glue, this stuff. And then just to make it a little fancy in the front, I'm gonna put a juice cap and this little wine bottle cap in the front. And then as part of my marker case, this came, and it just comes right off once you open the markers. I thought those were really cool teeth. So I'm gonna end up gluing these in as teeth. There we go. And I also found this cool paper that I like. It's kind of an iridescent clear plastic bag. And I think I'm gonna end up gluing that like this, just as like a little, like kind of like his hair, but it's just like magical iridescent hair that flops off of him. All right. So I'm gonna take a picture of what I'm done, and I will show you what my little guy does and how he looks when he's all finished. Just remember, it's good to set up your creation first, then start the gluing and the taping. Sometimes you might need to use a little tape, like I got this black electrical tape. I got this little string if you want, just to get your base set up. And then again, it's almost like sketching with a pencil. Just balance everything before you glue it down. And the last detail is you could use markers, like a Sharpie, or I have my Copic markers, to decorate. Maybe put some buttons, some little words on there, however I want to design it. All right, artists.